Hi, my name is Lauren Smith. First off, I'd like to apologize for my voice. I've been sick for the past week. I'm probably going to be drinking a lot of water and coughing, so I apologize. This is my persuasive speech. Friends with benefits, do the costs outweigh the benefits? Most people in our generation have seen movies like No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits. In the end, both sets of partners end up together in a committed, healthy, or seemingly healthy relationship. However, that's not the way that these types of relationships usually pan out, nor is it their intended purpose. Different sources report that between 47% and 60% of young people have been in a friends with benefits relationship at some point in their lives. Therefore, it's vital that we explore these relationships, how they're handled, and expose the truth behind what no strings attached means, along with the repercussions associated with this type of relationship. After researching the effects of friends with benefits relationships on the individuals involved and their remaining relationship after the fact, I believe that friends with benefits are extremely unhealthy and should be avoided at all costs. Since I'm sure many of you have your own experiences with a friends with benefits relationship, I believe that there should be an open dialogue, and I would appreciate if you would hear me out for now. See, I'll be speaking about friends with benefits in general, what it means, short-term relationships with long-term expectations, the benefits, commitment or lack thereof, and unrequited love. Since some of you may be new to this spectrum, let's dive into what friends with benefits relationships are and how they work. See, friends with benefits relationships can be successful if certain precautions are taken and there are open lines of communication. First off, friends with benefits relationships are defined by Urban Dictionary, which, yes, it is relevant in this because of the generation, as two friends who have a sexual relationship without being emotionally involved. It's typically two good friends who have casual sex without a monogamous relationship or any kind of commitment. See, now, in order to have a healthy friends with benefits relationship, there can't be any hope for a real committed romantic relationship from either party, because then it defeats the purpose of the friends with benefits. It's no strings attached. See, both individuals involved must be willing to tell the other exactly and explicitly what they expect out of this relationship and leave no room for confusion. The involved parties must also be willing to talk about appropriate behavior, dating, meeting people that they're close with, friends and family, and having other sexual partners, stuff like that. See, these standards are not usually held up or even thought about when you begin a friends with benefits relationship. So they're almost always unsuccessful and usually a negative experience. These are short-term relationships. However, one or both parties may enter a relationship with long-term expectations, such as romantic commitment down the line or friendship after the fact. See, did you expect to stay friends with your friends with benefits, or did you smartly choose a friend that you didn't really know, you recently met, or you were just never close to for any reason? Many friends with benefits relationships ended negatively and abruptly, and while some were able to salvage their friendships, many more are not. If you were not close to begin with, you may have grown closer as friends since you were hanging out and all that stuff. That group may be able to be friends without any weird sexual tension or any awkwardness. See, many people find themselves suppressing their emotions in friends with benefits relationships in order to please their partner or what they think will please their partner, and so they don't lose the benefits of their friendship. What would be the benefits, you might ask? The term benefits in this situation would be describing physical intimacy, such as sexual intercourse, fooling around, or simply making out. See, these acts are deemed as benefits without the emotional strings of traditional relationships. This means that there are generally no dates, cuddling before or after, whatever, or emotional support of any kind, including if you had a bad day or if something is going wrong in your family. You're supposed to just leave that at the door and go on with your business. Unrequited love, or it's terrible, but it's even more confusing when you've been sleeping with that person for so long. You should not ever allow your friends with benefits relationship to be misconstrued into something that it's not, like a traditional relationship or a actually committed monogamous relationship. It can lead to heartbreak or just a really awkward time. When you mix physical intimacy with an emotional intimacy, such as friendship, one party usually develops romantic feelings towards the other, even if it's not reciprocated. But the reason that most people get into friends with benefits relationships is because they're not ready or they don't want to make a commitment to another person. See, I would rather be alone than be with the wrong person is an extremely cliche and cringy quote, but it can be really true for a lot of people. So, in conclusion, friends with benefits relationships almost always end poorly. So you really need to think it through if you're going to get into it. See, if you simply must enter a friends with benefits relationship, actually talk to your potential friend or partner and set out what must and must not happen during and after. While friends with benefits share most of the most sought after benefits of traditional relationships, they don't share any of the emotional benefits. And if they do, then they're not a true friends with benefits relationship. Unrequited love, once again, is not a good time. You should never get into a friends with benefits relationship with someone that you'd rather be in a traditional relationship with. Not only will it not end well for you, it probably won't end well for the other party, and there will be little to no chance of a real committed romantic relationship in the future. Excuse me. See, so some people can handle the effects of friends with benefits relationships or even don't feel them, but most people actually feel things, and therefore friends with benefits relationships are not a good idea for them. Thank you.